For 10 years, my birthday was always too expensive, while my sister got $3,000 cakes and fireworks. This year, I stayed silent, then flew first class to Switzerland. When I posted the view from my $11,000 chalet, the family group chat went wild. Can you imagine being told, year after year, that your birthday just isn't in the budget, only to watch your family throw a lavish, no-expense-spared party for someone else, right under your nose? That's what my family did to me, again, and this time, something finally snapped. My name is Alex. I'm 30. I'm that guy. You know, the one who shows up early, parks on the street, and fixes the wobbly table without being asked. I work tech support for a hospital, so I'm used to pulling all-nighters on instant coffee and spreadsheets. My hobbies are pretty simple. Sunday laundry, long walks with a podcast, and, well, keeping receipts no one else wants to see. Then there's my sister, Eva. She's 26. Mom always calls her, our sunshine, a phrase that honestly lands on me like a paper cut. Eva's got a fan club at every nail salon, a group chat named after her, and an Instagram that's pure confetti. Mine, sunsets and the same bowl of pasta every 2 weeks. I'm not dramatic. I'm practical. When people talk over each other, I listen. When something breaks, I Google it and fix it. And when someone has a birthday, I'm the one making the reservation, picking up the cake, and Venmoing everyone to split the bill because I know exactly who will conveniently forget. 2 Saturdays before my own birthday, I swung by my parents' house to drop off my dad's drill. I walked into the kitchen, and it looked like something out of a glossy magazine. Rose gold balloons, a champagne tower kit, a neon sign that blared. It was always Eva. And a tower of pastel macarons that probably cost more than my weekly groceries. I just stood there in the doorway, drill in hand, feeling like the UPS guy who got the wrong address. My mom looked up, barely registering me. Alex, perfect. Can you run out and grab the French sparkling water? The good one. Also, more ice, and those mini croissants if Bo has them. Dad didn't even glance up from his phone. Move your car, champ. Caterer needs the driveway. Eva air-kissed me. You're a lifesaver. DJ only takes Zelle or cash. Can you front it? I'll pay you back tonight. I looked at the fridge calendar. My name was inked on the next Saturday. And then, small, in pencil, right over it. Brunch at Eva's loft, smiley face. My chest did this weird, small, neat fold. It's my birthday next weekend, I said, not as a protest, but more like stating a fact about the weather. Mom's voice floated back, airy and dismissive. Sweetheart, March is tight. You know that. We'll celebrate you later. And then Aunt Nadia, God bless her, clinked her glass. Remember how for 10 years we never had the budget for Alex's birthday? We're awful. She laughed. And everyone laughed with her. I just smiled, because that's the rule, right? I moved my car. I carried the water. I sliced the limes. I taped the neon sign a little straighter. But somewhere between the ice and the limes, a quiet click happened in my head. Not anger, not a big speech, just a lock sliding into place after years of me jiggling the key. I didn't say anything. Not then. I stacked plates, checked the drill bits, and put the receipt in my wallet like a small, smooth stone I could hold later. That one line, 10 years, not in the budget. It sat on my tongue like metal. I kept smiling. But inside, I started counting for real. Our house spoke money like a first language. Not hugs. Not, I'm proud of you. Money. Who got it when things were tight? What was reasonable? What was a once-in-a-lifetime? When I was 9, I desperately wanted a $35 used Game Boy from a neighbor. Dad said, ask for it for your birthday. On my birthday, I got a card with a $10 bill and a lecture about delayed gratification. Eva, at 9, won a gymnastics camp. $1,200. Mom's response. She's so talented. We have to water the flower. At 13, I asked to join travel soccer. Total scam, Dad declared. School team is fine. Eva wanted private tumbling because her team coach was mean. She got private tumbling. At 16, I was stocking shelves at a grocery store, saving $2,600 for community college books in an envelope in my desk. Mom found it while tidying and said, we'll keep this safe. 2 months later, Eva's Sweet 16 had a photo booth, a candy bar, and a fog machine. On the kitchen counter was a spreadsheet. I didn't snoop. I just moved it to wipe underneath and saw one line. Venue balance, $2,600. The number just sat in my brain like gum on a shoe. I didn't ask. Family money is like fog. Everybody breathes it, but only some get actual air. I stayed local, took buses, graduated with zero drama, and some debt. I answered help desk tickets and learned to be calm while people yelled at me through bad Wi-Fi. I became the guy who just gets it done. At home, I was still the add-on. Need a canopy built? Alex. Need a cousin picked up from the airport? Alex. Need someone to be in charge of paying the valet, and we'll settle later? Alex. I kept a notes file on my phone called Later. It grew like a vine. Some entries. Asterisk $189.17 emergency balloons ordered on my card because Eva's friend forgot. Asterisk $120 DJ cash. We'll square tonight. Never did. Asterisk $157.30 limes. Ice. Plastic cups. Asterisk $480 last-minute glam, hair, and makeup for Eva before a gala. Pay you back Friday. Never happened. Asterisk and that $1.75 torta cake I didn't even eat because I was in the driveway moving cars for the caterer. Then there was the $3,000 cake for Eva's 18th. Edible gold, a skyline and frosting, sparkler fountains in the driveway. I cut slices and handed out plates while Dad shouted, "We did it big because our girl only turns 18 once." My birthday that year. Pizza at home, and March is tight. I washed the greasy pans and told Mom the pizza was great. She kissed my cheek. "You're our rock," she said. "Rocks hold things up. They stay out of photos. They don't blow candles out." The script just kept repeating. Eva launched a candle brand. "Invest in me," she'd said, wanting $4,000 in seed money. I sent her a budget, suggested starting small. She replied, "Don't be negative." Mom texted me, "Support your sister for once." I offered to help build the website instead. They tagged me as backend wizard, LOL, and then asked if I could just cover the shipping labels until sales kicked in. Sales did not kick in. Labels did. At 25, I brought a girlfriend, Lena, to a barbecue. Aunt Nadia asked her, "Do you think Alex is ambitious?" Then Eva grabbed a mic. There was always a mic, and toasted a new chapter because she decided to rebrand as Lifestyle and Wellness. People cheered. In the car home, Lena said, "Do they always talk to you like that?" I just said, "Only when they're awake." We faded within a month. It wasn't the only reason, but it wasn't not a reason. I tried boundaries once. Eva asked me to co-sign on a car. "It's basically free for the first 3 months." I wrote back, "I don't co-sign. I love you, but that's a boundary." She replied, "You're being weird." Mom called. "Family helps. Don't be petty." Petty. The word stuck to my ribs. Birthdays were the sharpest edge. Every March, I'd send a simple invite 2 weeks out. Bowling, tacos, nothing fancy. Replies, "Maybe we'll try, sweetheart." "Mom, we'll do something small." On the day, something else always landed. A loft brunch, a rooftop pregame, a just because dinner for Eva. My name would be on the calendar, small, next to budget tight. And I'd show up anyway. Early. With tape, scissors, and a credit card that knew the dance. The 10 years not in the budget joke wasn't mean like a slap. It was mean like cold water. Every morning, you live with it until one day you realize you don't have to. After that neon sign party, I sat at my kitchen table, the bag of screws still there, and opened my notes file. I scrolled year after year of small debts with my initials. It looked like a pattern drawn by someone else's hand. I added a line at the top. March joke. Then I opened a new page and typed, "What I will and won't do." The page stayed empty, but it existed. The big ask arrived that Tuesday. Mom called, using her event planner voice. "Sweetheart," she cooed. "Eva's engagement is happening in May. Nothing crazy, just tasteful. What do you need me to do?" I asked, already knowing. "We thought you could cover the venue deposit," she said. "It's only $6,000 up front. Your father's bonus will sort the rest." Only. Dad grabbed the receiver. "Champ, we'll reimburse you. Stop acting like a banker." "I need to think," I said. "Don't be difficult," Mom snapped. "It's family." That night, Eva texted me a spreadsheet. "Alex, venue $6,000 due Friday TY highlighted in yellow. A second row, fireworks deposit $900. You know I love fireworks for exclamation points." Smiley face. I could practically hear that smiley face. I stared at my phone, then put it face down. I wiped my counter. I took out the trash that didn't need taking out. I looked at that empty page again, "What I will and won't do." I typed one line under it. "I won't fund disrespect." I didn't press send. I didn't reply. I opened a new tab and typed, "Zurich first class." I don't know why Zurich. Maybe the mountains. Maybe because it sounded quiet. The number on the screen for a first-class ticket made my stomach flip. I closed the tab. Then I reopened it. I looked at chalets with windows like movie screens. One was $11,000 for 3 nights. I laughed out loud, alone, because the number felt like a cartoon. I didn't buy it. Not yet. Wednesday, Mom texted, "Don't forget the deposit, sweetheart. Planner needs receipt." Eva added, "Love you." Dad sent, "Be a man." Thursday dinner was scheduled as just family. Those 2 words used to mean soup and sweatpants. Now they meant place cards and a part-time photographer. I went because I always go. I also went because I felt the click in my head again. The lock was ready to move. Dinner started harmlessly. Soup. A playlist of piano covers of pop songs. My name on a place card at the far end by the fern. Family is everything, spelled in wooden letters on a shelf. Halfway through, Mom stood for a toast like this was an award show. "We're so grateful Alex is taking care of the venue deposit," she gushed, straight to the camera that was suddenly filming. A true big brother. Heads turned. Phones lifted. I put my fork down. I wasn't shaking. My heart wasn't racing. It was like the world sharpened one notch. "I'm not," I said. The room made a sound like a straw slipping out of a lid. Mom blinked. "You're not what?" "I'm not paying the deposit," I said. "Or the fireworks. Or the photographer. None of it." There was a beat where everyone looked at each other, trying to figure out how to react. Eva laughed first, a bright, fake little trill. "He's kidding," she said to the room. I'm not kidding, I said. Dad leaned forward, like a warning sign. Don't do this, he growled. We told people. That's on you, I replied. Aunt Nadia tried to joke. It's only money, she simpered. It's never only money, I said, my voice steady. It's 10 years of my birthday being a punchline while I bought the ice and the limes for other people's parties. It's promises to Venmo later that never happened. It's being announced like a sponsor instead of asked like a son. Mom's smile didn't reach her eyes. We said we'd reimburse you, she repeated, as if just saying it made it true. You said that a lot, I said. I'm not angry. I'm done. Eva's smile dropped. You always do this, she whined. Make my moments about you. I'm making my life about me, I said. You can make your moments about you. That's fair. Dad slapped his palm on the table. Not hard, but loud enough to make everyone flinch. You're ungrateful. I nodded slowly. I knew you'd say that. He pointed toward the door. If you walk out now, I'm not storming out, I interrupted. I'm leaving before dessert. I'm also not your debit card. Mom switched to gentle. Sweetheart, don't be petty. Petty is paying for fireworks while you joke that I don't get a candle. I said, still level, still not yelling. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm setting boundaries. Eva folded her arms. What does that even mean? It means if you add my name to a bill, the answer is no, I explained. It means if you joke about my birthday not being in the budget, I leave. It means if you ask respectfully, I'll think about it. And no is a complete sentence. Mom tried the nuclear button. If you loved your sister, you'd do this without question. If you respected your son, you wouldn't announce his wallet without asking. I shot back. Silence spread like a tablecloth. I pushed my chair back and stood. This isn't about revenge, I said, my voice quiet on purpose. This is about closure. They stared like I'd spoken a language they didn't know. I put my napkin down, thanked the caterer on the way out, nodded at the photographer who looked relieved to be off the record, and walked to my car. At home, I opened my laptop. I bought the first-class ticket to Switzerland for the morning of my birthday. I booked that $11,000 chalet that looked like a screensaver. The confirmation email pinged, and my chest did a single, hard thump, and then went still. I packed light. Boots, a jacket, a beanie, the book I always say I'll finish, a small notebook. I put my phone on, do not disturb. Dad called 5 times. Mom texted 12 messages that cycled from we're disappointed, to we're worried, to we'll talk tomorrow, to deposit is due Friday. Friday morning, I sent one text to the family group chat. Not available this weekend. Talk next week. No explanation. No fight. At 4:30 a.m. on my birthday, I got into a rideshare. The driver asked, business or pleasure? Closure, I said. He chuckled. Nice. The lounge had stale croissants and quiet people. My seat on the plane turned into a bed. I didn't post a boarding pass. I didn't send a humble brag. I watched the runway slide by and felt something I didn't have a word for. The closest word was space. Zurich was steel and glass and trains that told the truth. A taxi curled up a mountain road. The chalet door opened to a window the size of a wall. Snow, silence, heat humming like a polite friend. My phone buzzed with happy birthday from cousins and a minion sticker from Aunt Nadia. From Eva, nothing. From Mom, call when you can. I put the phone face down and made tea in a little tin pot that clicked in a satisfying way. The first night, I wrote a list at the big wooden table. Asterisk no loans. Asterisk no announcing my money. Asterisk no jokes about not in the budget. Asterisk if you disrespect me, I leave. Asterisk if you ask with respect, I decide. Asterisk I don't explain no. I slept hard. No dreams I remember, just the kind where you wake up and the room is the right temperature and no one needs anything from you. In the morning, I took a photo because not taking it felt like trying not to blink. Mug, window, mountains. Caption, 30. No location. No flex. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed like a nest. Friends, dude, where's that? As you should. A coworker finally using PTO like a human. Nice. Not the point. The family group chat turned into a siren. Mom, where are you? Dad, call your mother. Aunt Nadia, is that snow? Cousin Ilya, Switzerland. Eva, cute. Who chalet? I made eggs. I ignored the phone. I put on the boots. I walked a small loop behind the house until my lungs felt rinsed. My head tried to invent comebacks for fights that weren't happening. I let the comebacks pass like clouds. When I came back, 39 missed messages, 10 missed calls, 3 voicemails from Dad that all ended with, call me back, or else. Else what? He's never figured that part out. Mom cycled through worry and control like radio stations. 11:05 are you safe? 11:12 why would you leave on your birthday? 11:19 we could have planned something. 11:27 the deposit is due today. 11:33 your father is very upset. 11:41 I'm crying. 11:55 don't do this to us. 12:08 call me now. I called at 2 p.m. because I had energy and a view and nothing to prove. She answered on the first ring. Where are you? No hello. Voice tight. Switzerland, I said. It felt like a mint. With who? Just me. Who paid? I did. Why? Like I'd admitted to buying a boat. It's my birthday, I said. I wanted quiet. You could have told us. We would have celebrated you. You celebrated Eva again, I pointed out. There was a pause. I could hear a TV in the other room. I could hear Dad muttering, "Are you really going to hold that over us?" Mom said, attempting wounded. "We didn't realize you cared. I told you for years," I said. "You called it petty." She exhaled. "We were counting on you for the deposit," she said, softer, as if honesty hurt. I didn't agree, I replied. "That's not my problem. You're punishing us." "This isn't about revenge," I said, using the same tone as at the table. "This is about closure." She hated that. "You sound like a therapist," she snapped. "I sound like a person with a boundary," I said. "Going forward, if you put my name on a bill, it's automatically no. If you joke about me being not in the budget, I leave. If you ask nicely, I might help, but the answer might be no." "Is this forever?" she asked, small. "Yes," I said. "Unless you change." She was quiet long enough that I looked to see if the call dropped. "Happy birthday," she said, finally stiff. "I hope it's everything you want." "It already is," I said. "Thanks." We hung up. 20 minutes later, Eva FaceTimed me. I let it ring out. She called again. I answered. She filled the screen with highlighter and ring sparkle. "So, you just decided to make a whole production?" she said. "No, hello. It's not a production," I said. "It's a trip." "You could have just said no." "I did say no," I reminded her. "You added me to a spreadsheet anyway." She smirked. "You love to keep score, receipts, dates, dollars. It's giving accountant." "Counting is how I know I'm not crazy," I said. "Counting is how I learned the pattern." She rolled her eyes. "You're jealous, aren't you?" "Of you?" I asked. "Not mean," she said, suddenly curious. "Of being the center. Just admit it." "I'm tired," I said. "There's a difference." "People are talking," she said, widening her eyes like a headline. "You made Mom cry." "I don't control Mom's tears," I said. "I control my wallet and my time." She just stared. "Enjoy your mountains," she said, like it was an insult, and hung up. I made pasta. I watched daylight fade like someone turning a dimmer. I wrote 2 lists. Asterisk what I owe, rent, work, my health. Asterisk what I don't owe, their deposits, their image of me, explanations for no. I slept like a stone in a cold river. Day 2. Dad called from a block number. I picked up without thinking. "Get home," he barked. "You embarrassed us." "I'll be home Sunday," I said, calm. "I'll come by at 2 if respect is on the table. If blame is the plan, I leave." He exhaled hard. "You think you're better than your family now?" "No," I said. "I think I'm separate." He hung up. A minute later, a text from Uncle Yuri popped up. Dad's quiet younger brother. "Took me 40 years to say no," he wrote. "Proud of you for doing it at 30. I stared at that one until my eyes watered from the screen. Relief is weird. It feels like grief leaving. On the last night, I set the table for 1 and lit a tea candle, just because I could. I didn't post it. I saved the picture in an album called Proof. At the airport going home, I turned my phone on. The group chat had shifted tone again. Phase 1, panic. Phase 2, anger, selfish, drama king, grow up. Phase 3, negotiation. Come Sunday, we'll celebrate you. Let's reset. Family first. I typed, "I'll come Sunday at 2. If I'm disrespected, I leave. If money is assigned to me, I leave. If apologies happen, I listen." Mom hearted it. Eva sent a thumbs up emoji that looked suspiciously like a dare. Dad wrote nothing. I put the phone in my pocket and felt my shoulders drop, like someone had finally taken a heavy box off them. Sunday at 2 p.m., I walked into the same kitchen where I'd cut more lines than I'd had birthdays. No balloons, no neon sign. A bakery box on the counter. Dad by the sink, arms crossed, but not clenched. Eva at the table with a notebook like a project manager. Mom started. "We overstepped," she said, each word carefully set down. Announcing the deposit was wrong. "Thank you," I said. "We didn't realize you cared about birthdays," she added, wincing at her own sentence. "You always say you don't like a fuss." "I don't," I said. "I like being included." Dad cleared his throat. "We can cover the venue," he said. "You don't have to make a point." "I'm not making a point," I said. "I'm drawing a line. It stays." Eva tapped her notebook. "So, you'll come as a guest?" "If I'm invited as a guest," I clarified. "No tasks. No bills." She nodded once. "Fine." I read my list out loud. Steady. No loans. No surprise expenses with my name on them. No jokes about not in the budget during my visit. If you ask with respect, I'll decide. No won't come with a paragraph. Mom nodded like she'd practiced. "We can do that," she said. "We want to do that." Dad looked at the floor. "I'm not good at this," he muttered, admitting he was unfair. "Noted," I said. Mom slid the bakery box over. Chocolate cake. 2 candles, a 3 and a 0. Mismatched colors. Not $3,000. Real. That night, standing at my counter with the light off, I taped a page inside my pantry door. It read, "I write my own budget. I'm in it. No is complete. Respect is the price of entry. I celebrate myself on time. Family can adjust or not. I won't bend back into a shape that fits the old table.